Swinburne podcasts.
In the past, even just 10 or 20 years ago, people would probably work much more on an individual basis, on their own, or perhaps with just one other or two other people. And now, with these large projects, we've got teams up to 40, 50 people, even 100 or several hundred people. So the astronomy is becoming very much like sort of big particle physics experiments, you know, where you've got huge teams and the scope of the projects are huge, and the workload is very high as well. So you need lots of people to do all the work.
Lots of roles get shared out, so you don't have to be the person who has the idea, who follows up the idea, who goes to get, who applies for the time, who gets the data, who analyses the data. You don't have to be every step in the puzzle.
I always miss something, and it's good to have someone that pays more attention to detail, and you're much more productive, and it's just fun. That's the way things are. I think sometimes you need to be alone just to concentrate on one thing, but after a while you need to bounce your ideas off someone else, and that's very productive.
We have a large number of people distributed across the country in different institutes who work in different aspects of it. University of Sydney, University of New South Wales, the director at the AO is a big supporter of the project. But we're actually using data taken from a NASA satellite that's being run by a team at Caltech as well, and using their data is a very important part of that project.
I guess the other nice thing about astronomy is it's a relatively small field. There's only a few thousand astronomers in the world, and so they get together quite a bit to have conferences and discuss results. And so, for example, next Sunday I'm off to Mexico to a conference to present a talk there and to hear what my colleagues have been working on.
If you get a chance to give a talk, you can stand up in front of people in your field and say, this is the research that I've done, and it allows them to see what you've done and ask you questions. I mean, there are so many papers these days that people don't have time to read them all.
But on the flip side, they're also, of course, doing interesting work that you might not have heard about, so you want to go to the conference to hear what the latest results are. Most
people would develop collaborations at conferences or over dinner here in the observatory with other people who are coming to observe. A lot of my collaborations at the moment with a group at University of Sydney have come out of work I did with fellow students when I was a PhD student in Cambridge.
You need to talk to your collaborators to share knowledge, to share your experience, to find out what they're doing. You can also explain what you're doing, and also to form new collaborations.
So working in a collaboration I quite enjoy. To discuss things with other people, and so when I make a plot or do a bit of analysis, I'd be thinking of showing it to somebody, so ask their opinion about it.
Well, collaboration's like a marriage, I think, and particularly a long-term collaboration, and you can have arguments and you can have breakups and you can just disagree, realise that you disagree with someone fundamentally, either about what you believe in astronomically or the way you go about your work, and you've got to like the person that you collaborate with for it to be successful, I think.
I guess one of the biggest implications is the loss of identity of the individual researcher. It's very easy to get lost in the noise of a big team, you might say, and not be recognised yourself as an individual researcher with individual ideas and of individual achievements, and I think that is a big danger.
If I'm having a beer with other astronomers, we often complain that the age of heroes is past, and we've entered into an industrial age. So the age when one astronomer could encompass many, many different fields and write salient papers in all sorts of different areas is sort of really past.